Humans are willing to wait 45 minutes in line for a 3-minute roller coaster ride but lose their minds when a car in front of them doesn't go right away when the traffic light turns green. Even though they have no correlation whatsoever, 7 times 7 equals 49 and Thursday feel the exact same. Most guys love cuddling more than their girlfriend does, they just won't admit it. Being a realist is often mistaken for being a pessimist. We are living through stuff that kids will cheat about on tests in 30 years. We get angry at very expensive prices but get suspicious at free things. As an adult, I can quite literally do whatever I want to, but I always end up wanting to just go home. Not calling fries and ketchup tomatoes and potatoes is a missed opportunity. People aren't nearly thankful enough that spiders don't have wings. We dress our best to convince other people to get naked with us. If someone from Iceland and someone from Cuba have a kid, it's an ice cube. If you're driving a Tesla and it gets stolen, is it now an Edison? The word dude is gender neutral, because I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, we're all dudes. It feels silly to think that a year ago we were upset by how Game of Thrones ended. You hate pen clicks unless you're the one making them. If your pet makes a specific noise around you for attention, that's them naming you. A lot of people will feel the joy of not having to smile in social settings due to wearing masks. If we could control our dreams, we would probably never wake up. You are hearing this sentence with your eyes. After enough years of saying 2016 sucked, 2017 sucked, 2018 sucked, and so on, it's starting to look like maybe things just suck. We're living through events that look like something straight out of a history textbook. I'm terrified for 2022. The sequel is always worse than the original. If you had the power of teleportation, you could start a really good delivery business. Knowing that you don't know is a form of intelligence. Millennials are the most educated, but least paid generation ever. We never realize how skinny we are at a point in time until we get fatter and look back at our older pictures. If being a moody teenager wasn't so stereotyped, then teenagers might feel more comfortable talking about mental health. Music is the closest thing we have to mind control. It makes people move, changes moods, and can also bring back memories.
Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control.
Getting a package in the mail is more fun than buying it at the store because you get to open the package like a present. Can a ghost and a zombie come from the same person? I've never been told when to do my taxes, how, or why. I have never been explained what taxes are, but if I get it wrong, I go to jail. Skype had a 17-year head start and still lost. Don't take criticism from anyone you wouldn't take advice from. You can be a night owl and an early bird if your sleep schedule is messed up enough. The Simpsons did not predict the future, it's just that our reality is becoming so ridiculous it looks like a satire cartoon. As I get older, birthday parties are less about presents and more about presents. If we saw souls instead of bodies, our definition of beauty, perfection, and our world would be so different. I've gotten out of bed every day for 18 years, that's 6,570 sit-ups and I don't have one ab to show for it. Going to bed at 4 AM somehow feels better than waking up at 4 AM. The word palindrome is not a palindrome, however, the phobia of palindromes, abophobia, is a palindrome. If we all agreed to it, we could live in the year 3000. The meanest dogs we see in the movies and TV are probably the nicest, most obedient, well-trained dogs ever. Magic and alchemy became boring after we started calling them physics and chemistry. Just like bacteria aren't aware of our existence, there could be giants around us that we cannot see cause we are too tiny to make sense of them. Do us watch movies and think the characters are reasonable people? There are people who won't believe people landed on the moon but will believe that Bill Gates has microchips to go in our bloodstreams to track us with no power source. The scariest thing is hearing a crunch when eating something that doesn't crunch. It becomes fat if you don't draw the line. Atoms just named themselves atoms. If you get 10 chicken wings at a restaurant, you could have 5 pairs of wings or 10 wings from different chickens, or any combination in between, meaning when you order chicken wings the number of chickens that died to make your meal is in a unknowable probability field. In most places, you can have Shreks before you can watch. Florida is to the US as the US is to the rest of the world. When you think about a neuron somewhere in your head is thinking about itself. Is about Shreks. Shreks is part of biology. Biology is science. Science fiction. An emergency is when urgency emerges. The most effective diet is having a pretty girl move in next door. Monarchs with a Roman numeral basically had to add a number to their username because the one they wanted was already taken. Pollen is plants. That makes hay fever an STD. You'd be really motivated if the weight you lost went to someone you don't like. Scooby-Doo is a Great Dane. In the shows, we see Shaggy, Velma, Daphne, and Fred all run at the same pace as Scooby. Great Danes run at a speed of 30 miles per hour. The mystery gang have thighs of steel. People that constantly post motivational quotes are either happy and rich or broke and depressed. There's no in between. All these websites asking you to accept cookies are conditioning people to accept anything on entry. Asking for a raise is a lot harder than asking for nudes. There is a chance you could have used the same utensil twice at a restaurant at different times. If judges sentenced people to 4 years in school rather than prison for minor offenses, crime rates would drop fast. Flat Earth believers shouldn't celebrate New Year's. We tease our parents for having to help them unplug or restart computer stuff to fix it. Our kids will probably tease us for trying to fix all computer problems by unplugging and rebooting. The bigger the download button, the lesser you trust it. Waking up and getting up are two entirely different negotiations. There is a chance that if you shuffle a playlist it will play in the order it would without shuffle. If the thumb doesn't count as a finger, then the middle finger doesn't exist. If a person attempts a really dangerous stunt and succeeds, everyone thinks they're brave/courageous, but if they fail, everyone thinks they are stupid and deserve to fail. A skeleton, a zombie, and a ghost all make up one full human. A large download button and a small close button are the signs of a bad website. People born January 1st can never joke that their birthday was last year. A move is appreciated only during Shreks. Taking a dump right after showering always feels extra dirty. The need for protest signs and the amount of cardboard delivery boxes synced up nicely. Hollywood actors are normal people who become famous by professionally pretending to be normal people, which makes them more famous and gives them more chances to pretend to be normal people. It must suck to be an animal in the wild who was fed with some delicious processed food by a random person not knowing how to get more of that. It is almost certain that Rick Astley has been rickrolled at some point. If you don't see something that was thrown at you, then you technically got hit by a UFO. Watching Toy Story is the only way to hear Tom Hanks being an asshole. If everyone is the protagonist of their own life, does that make every interaction a crossover episode? You can tell how touristic a place is by the behavior of pigeons around you. Cannibalistic tribes were eating before it was popular. When you die, you're technically the last person that ever died for a brief moment. It is as socially acceptable to see people in their swimwear as it is socially unacceptable to see people in their underwear exposing the exact same body parts. If you go onto a small enough level, all printers are 3D printers. A bank is a do-it-yourself adoption center. You inherited memories from a child that doesn't exist anymore. If the earth was sliced in half like in the movies, the gravity would immediately push the two halves back together. No one will mourn the extinction of humans. A new species of bird is a UFO. Being immortal would really suck if you get trapped and can't move. J.K. Rowling actually named a character Remus Lupin and tried to make it a surprise that he was a werewolf. She might as well had named him Wolf Wolfington. Parents get annoyed when kids interrupt them, but never think to not interrupt their kid.